Hello guys, it's Tina Wilfred here. It's been a while on this channel. I think the last time I did something here was January, and ever since then I've been quite busy with real life issues and also trying to keep up with my trading. I remember the last video I dropped on this channel was about my 4 losses in a row. Let me correct something about that particular caption that I gave that video, or particular title. I don't know, what do we call it right now? Is it title or caption? I don't know, but then the correction there is that it wasn't really 4 losses in a row, because there were actually wins in between. Okay, so I wasn't accumulating losses, or I didn't accumulate losses at a stretch. There were actually wins in between, but like I explained in that very video, I actually talked about the the problems or the issues, trading issues, that made me to miss my win trades, and then I always ended up executing properly the losses. So I accumulated 4 losses, and it eventually carried up to 5 losses, unfortunately. Okay. The last video, I know I stopped somewhere around here, the sell that I had, and I missed it because I kind of refined my entry. Instead of this very entry, I pushed it for that very stupid of, oh, let me not say stupid of me, but of course that was why I missed that particular trade. Okay, and I got another entry for a buy, which was somewhere within this region. Don't mind me, the rectangle tools, they are here to remind me of the trades I've taken so far. Okay, so as you can see, from January to March, it was a roller coaster. Okay, um, I didn't really achieve anything, honestly, because the next trade I had was this buy. After we got to the demand zone, the daily demand zone that I remember talking about, which is this zone. Okay, I remember talking about buying from this zone. I accumulated a particular loss trying to buy, and then later on, as I wasn't able to get in on the buy, I had to look for a confirmation entry, which is the one that you can see clearly on the 4 hours the 4 hour time frame. It is the confirmation entry. This was the main move when price dug into the liquidity pool on that particular demand zone on the daily time frame. So this was more like a confirmation entry. Price was supposed to break above this high for me to get in, but unfortunately price decided to tap into this very high before breaking out, before breaking out actually. Okay, so I think I I had to exit this very trade. Yes, I exited this very trade because I listened to the noise around. Trading is such a personal journey that the moment you allow something to come in between your judgment of the market, you are already missing something. Okay, it's doing something psychologically to you that you don't even know. So I think on that very day, I heard a couple of noise that price would be sweeping this level, and I've been on this trade already. It carried me over to the weekend. I didn't exit, and then when the market opened, I hurriedly exited because I thought that price would be respecting what the crowd said by sweeping this very level and tapping into this level, which didn't even make sense to me, but I still exited. And after I exited, price range retapped that entry up to 3 extra times, rejected from there, and then we had this massive buy up to this bearish breaker block, which was my target. Okay, and this was going to give me a serious, I don't know how to explain it. The risk to reward is really reasonable because you can see this is where my SL stopped. I don't know. I don't want us to make this video so long. So that's why I would not be placing any position to measure up anything. So I missed this very trade, and it was one of the painful trades I've ever encountered, being that I already got in on the trade and then I exited willingly because I allowed the noise get into my head. Alright, so what did I even see that made me go in? Like I said, it was a continuation entry. Okay, more like a confirmation entry rather. I needed price to break above here, but it did not break above here. However, for price to move to this level, it already gave us an order block here. I don't know if you look at it very well. Of course, let me zoom in. You can see something that looks like an order block. That is a pin bar, an inverse pin bar, and then an engulfing candle. So that was the order block that I saw that sponsored this entry. Okay, and I decided to even if price has not broken out, the fact that it has left that other block there, then there are chances that price will still come back to reclaim that order there. All right, so that was particularly the reason. And then I missed it. Of course, I needed to wait for another opportunity. Okay, so price came back again. Already left another order block here. This is a hidden block. If you go to the 1 hour time frame, you will see it clearly. An engulfed candle actually. So price tapped back into this place. While I was expecting price to come back to this very other block here, price used this one above instead of the one below. Okay, and that was how I was not able to also maximize this buy. Okay, and I was able to also catch a continuation entry for this particular buy. This is another order block. You can see an inverse spin buy again and then an engulfing candle. So I was supposed to get in on a continuation because I wasn't able to get in from this level, and this was another confirmation for me to get in on the ride. I did not get in, although I have the setup. I have the screenshot of the before and after setup, but I didn't get in because I felt like, will it give me what I want in terms of risk to reward and all that? But that's bullshit. I mean, there's nothing bigger than compounding profits, But most times I do that because I like to make sure that whatever it is I'm risking on that trade, that it is worth it. So that if I lose that trade, I know I'm losing that trade to a setup that I actually respected. Okay, not just any setup. So I literally missed all of this move here. I had to wait on a sell because this particular sell, this supply zone, I've been waiting for a sell on this zone way before these buys started coming up. Okay, so I had to place my order for this. And then the problem I had when I placed my order on this supply zone was that my next take profit level should have been on this breaker block. Okay, because breaker blocks serve as zones where price tend to bounce back up or fall from depending on the direction of the market. So I didn't place I was just looking at it that my take profit should be somewhere around this demand zone so that I will continue with my buys. All right, so I placed my target there, and of course price came, reached this breaker block and bounced back up, which scared the hell out of me. Okay, because already from this big fair value gap here, I was looking at a continuation. Okay, for price to continue the sell from this level. So I even had to get in on a second entry, only for price to go back up. Okay, price going back up scared the hell out of me. Plus this weekend spread, I was holding that trade over the weekend, and then of course I exited. And because of the slippage was much. I couldn't maintain the first position because I was more like, if price should, take out this zone completely, then I will be on a minus for a trade I did not gain anything from. You may not really understand what I'm trying to say, especially if you're not like actively trading. So that was it, and I exited the both positions. All right. So after I exited the both positions, that is both the continuation and the main entry, I had to wait because there is an order block here. This is another block that price created while it was trying to sell down, okay, on that previous position. So I had to wait for another sell. So here is an order block, obviously, and I placed my order here. Price came, and there was a lot of consolidation around this area. This consolidation made sure that it took me out before the sales happened. As you can see, it came very close to my SL, and it made sure that it took me out. Okay, so I tried everything to join this sell. It never happened, so I needed to wait for this buy. I waited for this buy. Of course, you can see that this buy, I've been waiting for it for the longest time, even before the sell. I don't have anything doing. It's only GJ that I trade. So I listened to another kind of noise that prevented me from, taking action or at this very demand level. Okay, I became skeptical because, it's the external opinion says something like, oh, there might just be more sellout, so it also affected me. I had to take a pause and be sure, because I already took a loss from this level, so I needed to be sure of whatever it is I'm getting into. God's grace, I was able to see another continuation entry. Now, if you look at this move that is here, you notice that it is similar to this very move that is here. So the moment I saw it, this one even gave me a more beautiful reaction because we had a breakout above this high, a 4-hour breakout above this high. Okay, making it so much more easy for me to get in. It already left an order block here. So I just placed my order and then price tagged me in. Now I'm looking at the what? I'm looking at the external range liquidity as my next take profit level. Okay, and I was not able to hold this trade to the TP because my psych again came in play. And it's still feeling as if when price started dropping here, it's still feeling as if price was going to start selling off again, because the sell buyers was still coming in, so I had to exit. Looked for a re-entry, but price did not tag me in. This was the re-entry. Price did not tag me in and it moved. This was the zone of the re-entry. Price did not tag me in and of course it moved. Okay, and that was how I lost the ability to follow up this very beautiful move from the place I left it to this very place it got to. So you can see this very massive buy from here. Currently, I'm expecting sales on GJ because I feel like it has gotten to its actual peak. This very level you're seeing marked out here is actually from the daily time frame. There's an inducement on the bearish order block there, like the bearish supply zone there. So this particular level, price already got to this level, so I'm actually expecting probably more sweep above here, and then we have a sellout or just a sellout from this zone. So I actually took a loss day before yesterday, trying to see if I can sell out, especially when I saw an engulfing bar. You can't see it very clearly, obviously. So I saw this very engulfing bar, so I tried joining it. Wrong of me, wrong. But I tried to see if I can sell early instead of waiting for maybe structural breaks on the 1 hour or on the 4 hour. So joining it took me out. So now I'm currently waiting for a better confirmation. I need to see a proper breakout because this is a range. I need to see a proper breakout, then we'll know how to join with a sell or maybe more buys, whichever way. But I know that currently it's supposed to be a sell. We need a pullback into this range. We need a pullback into this range. So basically, the strategy has been the same all the while. Okay, so we always have the liquidity sweep, the structure shift to the opposite side, then pull back into the 50% of the range, tags the new range, and gives you and comes back to the demand or the supply zone, which your next target will be the external range liquidity. That is the pattern. Okay, and that is also the same pattern that I'm expecting from this very place. We need price to pull back into 50% of this range, go back, tag whatever new range, whether there is a supply zone that it creates while coming back, exit, comes back to the demand zone. We already have one here waiting, and then the external range liquidity. So it may not really happen exactly the way that I'm saying it, but it definitely would. If it does not respect this very pattern here, then it would definitely create a new pattern for us to follow up with whatever direction the market chooses to go. So you can see that it's been a roller coaster. Now, this particular video that I'm doing should have been tagged the siege. No. The trade that broke the siege. And it should have been this trade, but I missed it and I lost the interest entirely to even say anything about it ever since then. I've not been able to do a video because this trade, if you check the last video, you will see that there was a setup, and that was this trade. And this trade, I can't believe that I exited this trade. I wanted to tag this particular trade, the trade that broke the siege. That is the losses and everything I've been accumulating. I was going to tag this, that win that cleared it up for me. But unfortunately, I exited, and by God's grace, God presented me with another setup that looks very much similar. And this particular trade, we can tag it the trade that broke the siege. Right, so that is it for this video. I don't want to go into analyzing or checking out other pairs that I have on this list because I don't even trade them actively. I trade DJ currently more. Okay, so that's it for this very video, and I hope you enjoyed my little rant. The video was not necessarily about teaching anything, it was just more about talking about my journey all this while from January to March. And by God's grace, on April I was able to catch this current April I was able to get a trade that brought me out of my losses. This very one trade, despite the fact that I did not even wait for it to get to the take profit target, it took me out of the drawdown and brought me flowing on profits again on that particular account. And it's such a beautiful thing. So we're still going to target the trade that broke the siege eventually. So we are hoping for better trades hopefully. And that's it for this video. Thank you for sticking through, and have a nice day ahead if it's actually on the daytime that you're watching this.